Welcome to New York City, where you spend $4,000 on a one-bedroom apartment with leaky faucets, thin walls, and rats the size of footballs. There's a simple explanation for why the rental market is so bad in NYC. And no, it's not greedy landlords. Rent control, also known as a rent freeze, is sold as an easy solution to rising rental prices. Cap rents to protect tenants. It promises stability, predictability, and a buffer against gentrification. For people already in their homes, it can feel like a lifeline. And let's be honest, the desire for rent control comes from a good place. No one wants to see neighbors priced out, or watch lifelong residents pushed out by luxury dog spas and rooftop plunge pools. The impulse is compassionate, but good intentions aren't enough. We have to ask, does it actually work? Rent control is a price ceiling, and Economics 101 says price ceilings come with side effects. First, they create shortages. When the price of something is kept artificially low, more people want it, but fewer people are willing to supply it. That's true for gas, it's true for bread, and yes, it's true for housing. Second, they distort incentives. Rising prices usually send a signal, build more, but when prices are frozen, that signal never gets sent. Builders hold back. Investors walk away. And landlords stop putting money into maintenance because they're not getting enough out. Third, they misallocate resources. Rent freezes keep people locked into apartments that no longer fit their needs. Empty nesters hang on to 3-bedroom units. Young couples stay in studio apartments long after they need more space. Why move when you're paying half the going rate? And that means new renters, people looking for their first place, are stuck circling the block, waiting for someone to give up a seat that no one's giving up. The result? A stagnant market, crumbling units, and a housing crisis that quietly gets worse every year. NYC first tried a rent freeze as a temporary wartime measure back in the 1940s, but decades later, it was still in place, and the city was paying the price. By the 1970s, vacancy rates had dropped below 2%. Repairs went undone, landlords abandoned properties, entire blocks in the Bronx were boarded up or burned. At one point, the city was losing 50,000 units a year. Fire crews couldn't keep up with the blazes, and the housing commissioner called it a slow-motion catastrophe. Rent freezes or stabilization still plague New York City, even when the worst of the policies are slowly phasing out. For now. The rent freeze rhetoric is heating up yet again as politicians look to double down on policies that have clearly failed. Will they work this time? Well, as Swedish economist Assar Lindbeck famously said, rent control appears to be the most efficient technique presently known to destroy a city, except for bombing. Or look at San Francisco for a more modern example. In the 1990s, voters expanded rent control to small apartment buildings. A Stanford study tracked the effects. Landlords responded by converting units into condos or taking them off the rental market. About 30% of the newly controlled units disappeared. Citywide, rental supply dropped 15%, and average rents, they rose 7%. That's the paradox. The policy helped some tenants in the short run, but made the housing shortage worse for everyone else. Rent control creates winners and losers. The winners? Long-term tenants who lock in low rates. The losers, newcomers, young people, immigrants, anyone trying to find a place to live. And rent control doesn't check who actually needs help. In New York, it was common for wealthier tenants to hold onto large, underpriced apartments, while poorer families searched for anything at all. Economist Henry Hazlitt put it simply, rent control favors those already inside, at the expense of everyone else. What's seen? A tenant paying a stable rent. What's unseen? The apartment that never got built, the unit that fell into disrepair, the family stuck on a years-long waiting list. In Stockholm, that's not a hypothetical. The average wait for a rent-controlled unit is 9 years. In the city center, 20. Stockholm doesn't have a housing market. It has a housing museum. Rent control promotes stagnation, not fairness. This isn't just theory. Economists across the spectrum agree. Rent control shrinks supply, reduces quality, and hurts the very people it's supposed to help. Milton Friedman called it a textbook case of bad economics. Paul Krugman, yes, that Paul Krugman, called it disastrous. A survey of top economists found that 93% agreed rent control reduces the quantity and quality of housing. It's one of the rare places where libertarians and Keynesians actually high-five. If rent control doesn't work, what does? Build more housing. Cutting red tape, reforming zoning laws, letting builders respond to demand. Rent control tries to freeze the market in place, but markets aren't meant to freeze. They're meant to flow. So despite the catchy slogans and tempting promises of lower prices and a fairer market, the reality is that these policies will undoubtedly lead to the opposite. Hazlitt said it best: rent control treats the symptom, high prices, while making the disease worse, not enough housing. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and check out fee.org for more content that demystifies economics. And stick around for more Fee Explains, where we break down the myths of modern economics, one fallacy at a time.